Hey YouTubers, welcome back. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys for a minute or a few minutes. I don't know how long. We're not going to chalk anything up to time, right? So I just need you to, in a sense, not think outside of yourself. Okay, not quiet the egotistical mind, right? The one that's been programmed to believe all of these things. And just try to understand where I'm coming from on deeper, higher level. Deeper, higher, as above, so below, right? So, where do we get all these things from? And why is it that we are taught that, even though there's a word for it, metaphysical, that's, all that stuff is fake, it's not real. And, where do people get all the ideas for these movies? And, what I referenced to the other day, as in fiction and nonfiction. And, why is it that, so much information about, extraterrestrials or, UFOs, things of that nature are like in these like sealed files, and, the people who reported to see these things and whatever are considered to be like cuckoo or whatever. And, people going through the awakening process, as I spoke about the other day, you do feel cuckoo. There's a reason for that. It's the conditioning, right? So the photos that I'm uploading, some people can see what it is and some cannot. Why is that? Well, I know why, okay? And it's due to the fact that, like, my son sees the images right away. Well, he sees what I'm seeing, and I'm not showing him. He's seeing it for himself. It's because his mind has not been conditioned to not believe that these things aren't real or be scared of them, right? I mean, yeah, it freaks you out a little bit because it's not something you see every day. But then once you can kind of like calm it down a little bit and just like relax and be like, okay, well, it's showing itself for a reason. I can see it for a reason. And I'm sharing it with you guys, whether you can see it or not. The thing is that when you're looking at the photos, you're seeing a bunch of trees, right? Yes, in fact, you are. But what I'm also seeing is I'm seeing faces and I'm seeing shapes. The one where there's like the house, the brick house, I took the photo from far away, and when I zoomed in, if you look next to the house, there's a face, and it looks like some sort of prehistoric bird, pterodactyl. There have been sightings of pterodactyls in, I believe, Asia as of late, where people are uploading photos and videos of strange birds. And that, we can see that clearly, okay? Some people maybe not. Pause the video and try to not think it's just a bunch of trees, but focus outside of yourself and it'll show itself to you. I know it sounds crazy, but it is what it is, okay? So, they call it removing the veil. So let me just reference on the sky real quick. So I uploaded a few videos, and if you have not looked at them, I suggest you go look at them, because where you are seeing, where the video is where I put shape-shifting clouds, air quotes, okay? It's in the same spot all the time. There'll be no other clouds in the sky except for right there, clouds. I don't know what else to call it. But it will shape-shift constantly all day and not move from that spot. There's a video that I put up. I believe it says you need to watch this. You, in fact, need to watch it, because where the shape-shifting cloud is, that video that I put up, and it's in the same spot. And it's not the sun and it's not the moon. I also have seen and have video of, is it two suns? People are saying, oh, is it two suns? Okay, first of all, why are you chemtrailing the shit out of the skies? Look up. Notice. They're not clouds. They're not clouds. They're causing shadows. from the trees below. I have a video of that, where the pine trees are shadowing onto clouds. They're chemtrails. I can't even tell you how many videos I have of them chemtrailing. Where I live near an airport. So where the shape-shifting whatever, clouds, there's an airport right there, okay? Right in that area, because the planes come right through here. Low as crap, too. I'll put those videos up, because it was Air Force One the other day. Oh, just, okay. So I live near an airport. Behind me where those trees are, that is a quarry back there. There's also a military base right across there. I also live near a nuclear plant. Yeah, so I'm not here by coincidence where I am at this time. And it is no coincidence, and I have like straight on goosies. It's no coincidence that every single time I go outside, something happens. So I, been led to do what it is that I do. I'm clearly connecting with you guys. How is that? When I record these videos, like I always say, it's my time-space reality, me doing this. By the time you watch this, it is your time-space reality. So how is it that I do a reading and record it and upload it and hundreds and thousands of people watch them and connect with the same exact energy reading? How do I do that? How do I do that? Is it magic? Or is it the fact that the belief in itself of me being connected to something outside of myself and being able to connect with so many different people all over the world? Okay, not just like I'm connecting with multiple different people all over the world, different cultural backgrounds, different religious beliefs. It doesn't matter to me, but I'm just saying, how is that? I don't know you on a personal level, other than the clients that I work with and stuff, but we don't even really, I know you through speaking with you through the computer, but I don't know you as in we've sat face to face or I've been in your presence. So how is it that I can tell you all about your life? Because I know there's more than what meets the eye here in regards to the way that we have been programmed to believe things, okay? This is why I ask you. I know, and I watch, and I think to myself, people just go in and out every day, just doing the same thing over and over again. They get so conditioned that, if there's other things happening around you, you don't even notice. Like the sky is different. I know that it is. Or they wouldn't be chemtrailing the shit out of it in order to keep you in the regular, mundane, everyday flow and just chalk it up to a hazy day, cloudy day, rainy day. I sit outside and it's clear blue. I mean, granted, it's not the same color blue. Notice that? It's darker on one side, brighter on the other. The pole shift. People paying attention to all of the different types of things that are happening all over the world with weather. Like in Croatia, like 2 weeks ago, it just started hailing and accumulated to like 20 inches of hail. Like it just dropped. The temperature just dropped and that happened. The water is disappearing off of shores, but the water, it's like the tide comes in, the tide goes out. The tide goes in, the tide goes out. What is that? A magnetic force that moves the water, right? So what's happening? A shift. I told you that in the reading for the weekly energies, the script is going to flip. It is. That's what was channeling through. The script is going to flip because it is. The reason that these chemtrails are happening is because how else can I put this? You've been conditioned to believe in one way, right? And that way is by the people who have been creating the system in which we have been living, right? That is now intolerable anymore. It's intolerable. People are hungry. People are being, put to death for beliefs that aren't even their own. They've been conditioned to believe those things, right? And then the ones who are conscious and want to help, before they would be shut up, gag orders, control, in order to keep the power and keep you in a everyday routine. In order to do what? Stress out and struggle to make money in order to pay your bills? That's not why you're here. That's not why any of us are here. I need people to truly understand this, okay? So, it's 11:11 over there on that clock, and it just said 11:11 there. I'm going to tell you this right now. What's 11:11? Make a wish. That's what people think it is. No, it's a manifestation portal. It means that what you're thinking about, talking about, feeling about at the time that you see it is what's manifesting into your life like that. Okay? So I'm not lying or making this up. This is not my opinion. It's what I know. Point blank, period. Okay? This is why I ask you, quiet the mind and think about it. How do I connect with all of you in the way that I do? Why am I seeing the things that I'm seeing? Why is it that I know all of these things? Because it's a shift of the energies. Why do you all feel beside yourself? Why do you constantly fight with yourself on keeping your faith and, these connections with the people who you have these soul connections with? Why do you fight with yourself about that? It's the energy shift that's happening. This is why everyone feels this way. This is why I had a migraine the other day. Because on 8/8 was the Lion's Gate portal opening, right? And what's coming up? The total eclipse. So the thing is that these energies are shifting the paradigm. This isn't by a coincidence. These things are not happening because it's a coincidence. It's the energies in perfect synchronicity. And they're trying to cover that up. Why? Because most intellects do not believe in God, but their fear is just the same. Because what they cannot control, they try to hide. What they do not know about, they try to hide from you. It is something that cannot be hidden. It can only be, in a sense, delayed. Delayed from full conscious awareness as to what is truly going on. Okay? So, I need you guys to just pay attention. Do your research. Stay off of the mainstream news. I'm sorry, but it's bullshit, okay? And there's others, who are putting messages out, who understand on a deeper level what's going on and are trying to help others, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I just, need you guys to be open and, if you're watching my channel and you watch my readings and they resonate with you, of course, if you're watching, then you believe in something outside of yourself in order for, you come to readers. And it's not about just reading the cards by their meaning. I'm intuitive. I don't need cards. Do you guys know what cartomancy is? Like, for real, what it even is? This was a book at one time, a loose book, okay? It's the original book of life. It was forbidden. By the Roman Catholic Church, they forbade this. And this is actually referenced in the Bible at least 20 times. I believe it is 20 or 22 times they reference the book of life. yet it was, you know, excommunicated. Anybody who was caught using it was put to death, right? So, what is it? Well, it's a calendar. There's 52 cards in a deck, and there's 52 weeks in a year, and there's 4 suits, one representing winter, summer, spring, and fall. There's 13 cards to each suit. That's 13 weeks per season. If you add up the cards numerically, each one by one, you get 364 for the days of the year. The Joker card is an interchangeable card. He can become any, he can become any suit, any season that he wants to, any suit, right? So he's one on his own, 365. Divide him by each suit, you get a quarter, right? So 365 days in a year, and that quarter year for a leap year. It's the original book of life. So when people say, it's just not in the cards for me, or it's all in the cards, that's what this means. This is how tarot was originated. They're not exactly 100% sure where it first came about, but it was known in Europe and Asia and those parts, and that's how tarot cards actually became tarot cards. It was from the Book of Life. So you have clubs, wands, right? Hearts, cups, spades or swords, and then the diamonds, which would be pentacles, right? So it's not a coincidence. It's not. So this is like, when they say the gypsies and all of that, like this is what they would use in order to help people in their life. And the last known manuscript is said to have come from Atlantis. And it's somewhere, but it came from Atlantis, the lost world, right? The lost continent, I should say. I feel like it's like the lost worlds. I feel like that's where I'm from. But yeah, so it's just something that connects to me, and I just roll with it, and just like some other things like that I woke up to about myself when I was being pulled on this path, because my whole entire life basically just shifted and changed. And I mean, I really couldn't do anything about it. Everything that was happening was out of my control. And I think I told you guys, like, there's some videos where I tell you guys some things that happened to me that I couldn't fight up against the energies anymore. Like, when I say you can't fight up against the energies, like, that's real life. Like, that's the truth. Especially when you're put here in order to help others on a deeper level. And that's why I'm seeing the things that I'm seeing. And those who don't believe won't see. Those who believe will see. Will eventually see, for certain. I know that. I'm a negative blood type, which is, only like 15% of the population has a negative blood type. And, there's probably a lot of other people that, watch this, you're a negative blood type, but there's only 15% of the population that's a negative blood type. And it's a blood type that is not something that is, few and far in between are born anymore with a negative blood type. Okay. And because it's hard to replicate DNA wise. They do, and they don't know where it originated, but it's I'm more acidic than I am alkaline. I have copper, like it's copper based, like your blood's copper based if you're negative blood type. And people with negative blood types tend to be clairvoyants, they just be able to connect to energies more. I have a real problem with electronics breaking. I blow light bulbs out like no one's business, which is why I like the sunlight. I'm not kidding you, because like I break, machines and stuff like that all the time, like just electronics. Like I blew out my freaking cord to my laptop like 2 weeks ago. Just, some days it's worse than others, especially when it's Mercury retrograde. Like, forget about it. Like, I'm also a Gemini and I'm ruled by Mercury. So, Mercury retrograde, I mean, I might as well just like wrap me in bubble wrap because it's like a disaster. My birthday is double digit. I was born June 6th, which is what? D-Day in history. Um, when you add my birthday together, you get 21, which equals 33 is my life path. My name literally references to Christ, Mary, and I also have faith in my name. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's not a coincidence. It's not. I woke up to that a while ago, But, like, I know people feel crazy, especially with the energies right now, but I just want you to understand that it's not a bad thing. It's just use them to your advantage. And the reason why I always talk about, like, past wounding and, like, the childhood, like, healing and things of that nature is due to the fact that it's 11:22 over there now. it's, it's due to the fact that these energies now are very healing energies, and because I'm saying that the script is going to flip, it's more or less like allowing those lower level energies and feelings that you've been carrying around with you since you were taught to believe that love and pain are so the same. It's like now is the time that you can actually really go within yourself and rid of them, because things are going to change here very quickly. And people are like, what do you mean change very quickly? Like, freaking out that, like, what did I say the other day? Like, have you ever been woken up out of a deep sleep and how scary it is? And you've got to kind of focus yourself in to, like, what's going on around you. It's not going to be like that, but it's already been happening. Excuse me. This is why people are going through the awakening process and have been for a while now, because these energies were always coming. And that's why I'm doing what it is that I do now versus what I was doing like 5 years ago. So I just wanted to put this message up there for you guys, because I know that some of you can see the images and some of you can't, but it has nothing to do with the fact that you can't see them. You have to kind of look outside yourself there. Don't think that you're just looking at a bunch of trees, because the images that I do get, and this is by no coincidence whatsoever, when the sun is out and not chemtrailed to death, that's when you can really see things. So whatever's shining down, it's doing it in order to be able to see. And the thing is that whatever keeps creeping through is breaking through whatever barrier they were trying to cover up. But there's just a lot of things, and I mean, I could go on and on and on, but lightning doesn't look like lightning, huh? Just like flashes of light. What do you think that is? Let me just close this out by saying this. Do you think the person who created Star Wars just had a really good imagination? Or do you think that shit could be real? Think about it. Think about it. I'm serious. Do you think that those people that create those fantasies in such depth? How about the Never-Ending Story? One of my favorite freaking movies of all time. What if? Think about it. I got like full-on freaking goosies right now. Seriously. What if everything you were taught was a fantasy, was actually real? What if it is? It's kind of cool, huh? Yeah. I think it is. But I always question those things ever since I was a kid. Like, how did they come up with Star Wars? How did they come up with the Never-Ending Story? Maybe they just have a really vivid imagination. How did they create images, where did they get the names for all of these things from? Let's be real. Come on, guys. Let's think about that. Come on. How do they get names for everything? How does everything have a label? A reference, a definition. I mean, come on. People don't ask those questions because you're just living in it. Now it's time to wake up. That's what this is about. Stop living in what it is that you've been taught to live in. Start thinking outside of yourself. And that's when you are really going to start to see things. Clarity, right? Right. All right. I love you guys, and I will be back with your mid-monthlies. Okay? Bye.